We can find the options bar right underneath the ribbon. It's this gray bar going across the top of the screen. The options bar gives us options related to the command that we're in. For instance, if we're in the Architecture tab and then select on the picture of the wall, we'll then get options associated with the wall command, the height of the wall, the location at which we'll be drawing the wall in, as well as some other properties that only walls have. If we get out of the command by hitting the Escape key on the keyboard, all the options go away as well. The reason for that is there's no longer a command active that has options associated with it. If we decided to pick a different command, such as the floor command, we can see that we now have a totally different set of options related to floors as opposed to what we had for walls. And that's because the options for a floor are much different from the options for drawing in a wall. If we hit the Escape key on the keyboard, we are still in the Options command. And we can tell that because Options is still green. Well, the Floor tool and a few other tools in Revit have special properties associated with them. So to get out of the command, we need to select on the big red X. And when you do, we've now backed out of the command, and we no longer have any options available to us because we're no longer in a command. If I select any object in Revit, such as maybe this column grid bubble, we can now see that we have the options bar activated. Just because you have something selected doesn't necessarily mean that you have an option associated with it at this point. But if there was something that we could have changed in options by selecting on an object, then that would become available to us on the options bar as well. So you don't necessarily need to only be able to use the options when you're first drawing an object. Sometimes when you're modifying objects, you can use the options as well. To get out of this command, we'll just hit the Escape key a couple of times on the keyboard. Just remember that whenever you need to change some of the settings related to the objects that you're drawing, select on the command and then change some of those settings on the options bar going across the top of your screen.